Well, we had the Christmas battle, as is usual for the series. For those not in the know, or not haven't noticed this, every year around now, since it falls on Christmas, Toei produces a big battle for their series, depending on where they're at. For Sentai, it's usually a big and long Megazord brawl. For those familiar with older Power Rangers, that's where the Psycho Ranger thing came from, as people who would have watched my Mega Ranger videos would have seen. um, Kamen Rider does it a bit differently, as while it's still a big battle with all of their forms, it usually feels a bit more dramatic, as it tends to be a turning point in the conflict where something big story-wise is revealed or set up. Not so much not so much 2 years ago, but Drive had a decent reveal with Machine Chaser being revealed as Proto Zero. I'm forgetting the one they did in Fours. I'm forgetting the one they did. Oh yeah, O's was the no, that was did the 16th episode. Yeah, the 16th episode would have fallen around there. So O's, it was the big combo change battle and the reveal of Birth. Double really didn't have a big event from what I can remember, but it was more tied into the whole Begins Night incident as falling on Christmas, which was part of Movie War 2010. Anyways, for Ghost, they resolved the first arc of the series, and, well, aside from what's happening next week, about the gathering of the 15 icons, and Saionji trying to use them to take over the world. That is pretty shallow, especially with how little they've developed his character, and he's killed off pretty pointlessly, so I don't really see the point of him being around and being an instigator for the icon gathering that has otherwise been a non-issue for Aran. Javel is interested in them and knows of their power, but I don't understand why he wouldn't have told Aran about them at all. So, yeah, I'm confused. Whatchamacallit? So with him killed, we learn a new thing from Sage that only one with a ghost driver is able to channel their power for a wish. Meaning Spectre and not Spectre, Makoto and Takeru. Makoto, we still don't know how he got his belt, which is a problem. But Takeru's was given by Sage, so this was obviously something he was setting up for we don't know yet. And he seems irritated at Takeru when he ends up being drawn into the gate created by the icons to this greater power who asks him his wish, and he chooses to give Kanan her life back, sacrificing his chance to be revived, but still possessing ghost powers. And this is a very good moment for him. I give them much credit for continuing the, well, obviously Takeru was going to do this, but there's a moment of hesitance where it's not certain whether doing it will sacrifice his own wish or his selflessness will allow him to be revived as well. He's not, so yeah, he's still on the death clock with only a couple weeks left. But otherwise, it's a good character moment as this is the fastest I think we've seen a Heisei Rider fully recognized, realized as a Kamen Rider from the common precepts that most of them bear. A willingness to protect people, sacrificing themselves for others, fighting against the odds, and achieving what they set out to do. He's been criticized for being non-committal in the past, but like I've kept saying, that doesn't really seem to connect very solidly. So, and we get a good moment with Makoto during this as well, in that he's realizing that as Takeru's drawn in, that he failed Kanan, and he attacked people who were considered friends and extended family for what was ultimately nothing. The problem, of course, being that since they didn't really flesh out his character, it doesn't connect as solidly as it should. I mean, we had that whole betrayed by Takeru's father thing that sent them into there that didn't really lead anywhere. It was brought up in an episode and discarded, forgotten. So, yeah, there's this, the pacing for this, which obviously now it's, since they did it on the Christmas episode, was because they didn't have the time in the show, which they really should have given us. I hope they go back to this, like, really better flesh out the whole Makoto thing, because he really, really needs it. But yeah, there's this good moment with him where he's stunned that Takeru would give up his chance to live again for him and Kanan. And, I think that's the moment where he officially switched allegiances and allied with him, as the rest of the episode is I don't want to say long brawl, but it is a good 10-minute fight with Javel while they're fighting him and retrieving their form icons throughout the battle, thanks to Onari and the two disciples of the temple finding them and tossing them back to Takeru and Makoto for the battle. And overall, it pretty much works. I don't have a significant complaint about it, as they paced out and give a chance for each form to, show their capabilities. I didn't expect to see Beethoven again. I thought they weren't gonna. It was a throwaway form that they wouldn't really see use. And I'm glad I was wrong on that. And of course, then Aran reveals part of what he's been doing throughout the series, and that he creates Ganma icons on areas where Ganma have attacked that are pretty much gates to the Ganma realm, and Javel uses them for reinforcements to call these serpent-like things they call Gandari, and they are giant CGI monsters. Because, of course, they are. And then, on top of Javel, they have to defeat those. And there's a really good rider kick in this sequence with Takeru combining with all of his ghost parkas thanks to Masashi calling them up. And it's a good combination rider kick, which I'm wondering if they're going to do again with all 15 ghost parkas later in the series. Because that would be pretty cool, I guess, with the concepts of the series. So yeah, wrap up. Makoto takes Kanan and is very grateful for all this, and they leave. They're not out of the series yet, obviously, but now Panic is probably going to set him with Takeru, or he's going to accept his death. Either way. Which will come up next week with the reveal of, forget the name of it. Tokon Damashi? The Tokon Boost Soul? I'm curious how they're going to get that about, and if it extends his time, or whatever extension that might be coming. So yeah, good episode this week, good action scenes, watch it if you've not already, and I had one other thing. I'm re-uploading the old videos. Kuga's up, part of Agito's up, the part 4 of my evisceration of Grand Prix will be up in a bit. If you've followed the other big Toku people, Easy Rider has some new Christmas videos. Linkara will be posting History of Power Rangers Megaforce in a few days. I am looking forward to that, because apparently he has a lot to say. Comparable to the length of one of my reviews of Rider series. Oh yes. So yeah, lots of good Toku people to watch right now, and I will see you the first fall. I'm forgetting which day the first fall is, but I think we have one more before 2016 comes to us, so I'll see you then.